Now, before I begin this video, I'd just like to make it clear I'm not instructing people to seek out the person I'm going to be talking about and try and go and harass them and try to find them and everything. I'm not going to promote that whatsoever because, let's be honest, this guy is not worth it. He's not worth trying to, do all this stuff over, and this isn't going to be me screeching or getting angry or anything like that at this guy because, there's no point in that over something like that anyway, stuff he does. It's really not worth it, over what this guy does. This is more of just meant to be me giving this person some more life advice because I did one video on this before, but I feel like I didn't go into detail enough, in certain regards. I mean, I did give him a little advice, but I mean, now I'm probably going to go into a little bit more of this just to maybe see if it can help him out a little bit. And yeah, so for I don't know how many months it's been now. It's been like since the summer. Codebreaker's been like obsessively tagging me in all sorts of things. The list is just endless of things he's tagged me in, and a lot of them I don't even know why I'm really tagged. It's just like I've gotten links of his to like fast food videos and stuff, Arby's, for whatever reason. I mean, hey, I like Arby's chicken sandwiches, but I don't get why I'm tagged in these random videos regarding Arby's. And other than that, he's just been, trying to go after me in whatever way he can. And honestly, yeah, I've kind of went over it a little bit along with other people. What this guy does is really, it's not any sort of burns or anything mostly. It's just the cheapest jabs ever, like people's college degrees or their patrons or, their hobbies or whatever. Him saying, oh yeah, you knowing how to play guitar won't get you anywhere or whatever, in one of his posts he did recently about me, where he also says I have low standards, which I found funny myself, considering this guy really sets his life at low standards, considering, how much he's on here, just obsessively tagging people in just the most random things at times, or just taking the cheapest jabs ever possible that he can at people. The list is endless of cheap insults he tries to throw at people. It's like, once he realizes one thing doesn't work to make somebody mad, then he goes to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But he doesn't stop, even though, whatever he tries doesn't work because it's not any good material. And this person honestly strikes me as the type of person that's just terminally online all day, every day, is also unemployed, and just tries to, find whatever dirt he can of people because he's always got to get that dopamine rush, He's always got to get that dopamine in, and the way he does it is, just try to poke at people whatever way he can for their attention, and being like, that kid who's, tugging on your sleeve, always trying to get your attention, and be like, oh, give me attention, do this for me, do that for me. And he also strikes me as the type of person that, with his friends in school, he would just try to do whatever he could to antagonize and piss them off, just to get their acknowledgement and their attention, because he knew no other way of trying to get their attention. And this is how, what he does online too, and probably with a lot of people in his real life, which is why he has no friends, because the second people either just ignore him completely or tell him, hey dude, this is irrational and dumb, quite frankly, he just rages and screeches and everything else. And it's like, no matter what he does, he's not getting the people mad that he's trying to go after. And I feel like this is somebody who knows they're losing, but just keeps on insisting they're winning, just to try to convince themselves that they're winning. And maybe it's worked for them. Maybe he actually thinks he's winning. I don't know. Maybe he's convinced himself he's winning and everything. He's owning all of us actually, or whatever. But dude, if you were winning, people wouldn't just be rolling their eyes at you, dude. People wouldn't just be, not even bothering with you most of the time, and just, seeing you as just a minor annoyance at most. Because whenever I see you, like I said, I just, you know, disregard you completely. I don't think about you. I'm not, you know, obsessing over you or anything. You know, I don't need to dedicate the amount of time that you do into, you know, these clashes you try to have with people constantly. And I'm just saying, dude, when you go to your channels and, you know, you go to your community tab, all of it is just, you know, smack talking. That's all it is when you see, that's all you see when you go to your accounts. And when most people see that, that kind of comes across as the type of person who, you know, people probably wouldn't want to associate with, you know. That's the type of person most people would want to stay away from, because, you know, people don't really tend to go towards the person who never has anything nice to say about anything at all. And, you know, sure, I may have made a few, I guess, rant videos, you could call them, and I don't even know if I consider this a rant. This is just me giving advice to this guy. But, you know, when you have, like, nothing you enjoy doing, you know, from what people see, people will tend to avoid that. You know, people like people who, you know, actually have hobbies and everything and actually get things to talk about, not, you know, just pointless drama that nobody's gonna care about in 2 months' time. And I guess this guy is sort of like an AFL fan, which, dude, if you are, why don't you focus your time on that stuff, bro? Why don't you focus your time on that instead of wasting your time on people like me and Gage and Damien and Steve and everybody else? Like, I honestly don't get it, dude. You focus way more of your time on just trying to annoy and harass us for whatever reason when you could be spending that time on AFL, you know? If, you know, I don't know if you're into the game or whatever, or you're, you know, you actually want to be a sort of like an AFL player. I don't know much about AFL personally, but, you know, if that's something you like, dude, then why don't you chase that more? Why don't you give more attention to that instead of this? Like, why are you even doing this, dude? I still don't get why you need to spend this much time of your day, you know, tagging people multiple times a day on multiple accounts, subscribing to me with like 100 of your alts, and subscribing to yourself with like 100 of them, you know, and all that stuff. Why do you need to do that, dude? What does that really prove, other than the fact that you really have way too much free time in your hands to be doing this stuff? Because you really seem like you do. And, you know, you have like 100 accounts, dude. At least. I don't know exactly how much, but it's probably around at least 100. And that's a lot of accounts, dude. And let me ask you this too. What good does this do for yourself or others? You know, because of course it's not going to do any good for others, really, you know, what you're doing. But does it do any good for yourself to spend hours of your day doing this? And I'm genuinely asking this, dude. Like, this isn't even like really as much of an attack on you as is like a genuine question. Like, why is it that you do this? Like, what do you seek to gain or anything out of this, and what good does it do for your life? I mean, like, you have no actual subscribers other than like 5 at most. Like, all your other subscribers are your alt accounts, dude. You're not really getting any fame from this. You don't post any of your original content, so I mean, what are you getting out of this, dude? I just want to know, like, what is it you're really getting out of this? And okay, you might say, oh yeah, well, I'm giving this guy attention right now. I mean, maybe, but honestly, I don't really care if he continues tagging me. He can continue to do it. I don't really care. I'm just doing this for, you know, simply for advice for this guy. This isn't meant to be as much of an attack as it is, you know, me giving him advice, because, you know, it may work, it may not. I really don't care much, you know. But either way, I can say, well, at least I tried, you know, because some people may be reasonable, some others may not. I kind of have a feeling this person may not be the person to really, you know, change themselves and find something better to do. But really, that's up to him. That's not up to me or anybody else. You know, I'm just doing what I can to really at least try to steer this guy in the right direction, because he's not going in the right direction right now, clearly. Like I said, spending hours and hours of your day doing this, sitting at home, you know, not really talking to people probably, you know, outside of the internet, isolating yourself. It's not good, dude. And okay, you could say I have unhealthy habits, but you know, I have a job and everything. I, you know, work full time. I have a lot going for myself in life. I don't need to dedicate the amount of time that you do into this. I may smoke a bit of dank, yes, but you know, I still manage to get through life fine, you know, and I'm not truly trying to make this as much of a pissing contest as it may seem, but like, compare my life to yours right now. You know, you see the difference. I do a lot more with my life that's productive and all that stuff. So, you know, of course I don't need to dedicate the amount of time that you do into doing this stuff. And you really don't come across as somebody who's really happy, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened to you in life. You know, I don't really care to know too much or anything. But, you know, there's a book I recommend you read, and it's called Unfuck Your Brain. And, you know, this one will talk about all sorts of stuff, you know, including these dopamine rushes you have, what, you know, whenever you log on to one of your 1700 alt accounts and, you know, tag somebody thinking, oh yeah, I got him right now, I got him with this little thing, they're gonna get so mad. And it talks about all sorts of stuff, you know, what causes, you know, antagonistic behavior like yours and all that. You know, you probably were maybe used to, you know, people being antagonistic towards you at first, and you thought, hey, you know, if they're gonna be that way, I'm gonna be that way too, and in fact, I might outdo them maybe, because you probably do outdo them actually. You feel like, oh yeah, if I outdo them, you know, that makes me better and everything. That makes me even more of a person who's got stuff going for themselves and, you know, has a personality and everything. You know, it teaches you this kind of behavior is normal, and it's not, dude. It's not normal to, you know, do this stuff all day, every day, you know. Even if you are a bit disabled, you are a bit, you know, loopy in the head, you should still probably try to find some better stuff to do, man. You know, because even if you are, you know, in a position where you're, you know, slightly deterred from doing certain things, you know, there's hobbies and things to get, dude, you know. Like I said, you know, you pointed out one of my hobbies, playing guitar. Maybe that's something you could consider, or, you know, drums or something like that, I don't know, or playing violin. I have no idea, dude. But there's all sorts of stuff you could do besides this, you know, that you'd actually probably enjoy a lot more and would be more productive than this. But either way, dude, you're going about your life all wrong right now. You're really going about it all wrong, and, you know, this video may help you, it may not, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know your mind totally, because I don't really think about you a lot of the time. You know, even though I may see you pop up in my mentions when I go to check it a lot of the time. But what you do really has no effect on me, dude. I'm just telling you that right now. It has no effect on me. And what you're doing is doing a lot more harm to yourself than it is me. So, all I ask of you is just take my advice, dude. Just give up on this. You're not gonna get anywhere. You haven't gone anywhere since, you know, you started this whole thing with Damien and then went on to me and everybody else. It hasn't gotten you anything, dude. You haven't gotten any fame really from it other than from your own alts. Nobody really is jumping to your side. You have no fans really, you know, and, you know, if you do want to keep your channel, fine, but do something productive with it at least, dude. You know, post your own entertaining content. You know what I mean? If you're gonna keep your channel, rather than just using it as a tool to, you know, try to desperately get negative attention in whatever way possible you can, even if it's, you know, grasping at literally sand and not even straws, you know, because the straws aren't even there. Just know there are different paths other than the path you've chosen, and your path isn't the only path, you know. So I'm just gonna wrap this video up with that, and yeah, like I said, dude, take my advice, you know, and to everyone else out there, you know, who may come across this guy, don't even bother with him. It's really not worth it. It's not worth getting upset over or anything. It's really not. You know, just move on with your day and pretend he doesn't even exist, because that's probably what I'm gonna do, you know, at this point. is just pretend he doesn't even exist. And if he doesn't take my advice, it is what it is. Life goes on. My life is doing pretty good right now, and you know, I'm happy with myself, and I hope this guy finds happiness himself as well. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So yeah, peace.